I had come to Cambridge to do cosmology, and cosmology I was determined to do. Then the conditions developed more slowly, and I began to make progress in my work. After all my expectations had been reduced to zero, every new day became a bonus, and I began to appreciate everything I did have. So remember to look up at the stars and not down to your feet. Try to make sense of what you see and wonder what makes the universe exist. Be curious, and however difficult life may seem, there is always something you could do and succeed at. It matters that you don't just give up. While there is life, there is hope. These were the words of one of the greatest cosmologists of his times, an English theoretical physicist and best selling author who roamed the cosmos from a wheelchair.
All my life, I have sought to understand the universe and find answers to these questions. I have been very lucky that my disability has not been a serious handicap. Indeed, it has probably given me more time than most people to pursue the quest for knowledge.
Pondering the nature of gravity and the origins of the universe and becoming an emblem of human determination and curiosity, he defeated his disabilities with his willpower. Widely regarded as one of the world's most brilliant minds, he was known for his groundbreaking discoveries throughout the world. It's a beautiful coincidence that he was born on the birth anniversary of Galileo and died on the birth anniversary of Einstein. Yes, I'm talking about Stephen Hawking. Hello Stargazers, I'm Khushi and you're watching Space Girl. Stephen Hawking was an English theoretical physicist, cosmologist, and a best-selling author, born on 8th January 1942. And since today, 8th January 2022, is his birth anniversary, there wouldn't have been a better day to talk about him. Hawking was born in Oxford into a family of physicians. His father, Frank, was a medical researcher and his mother, Isobel, was a secretary of medical research. He had two younger sisters, Philippa and Mary, and an adopted brother, Edward. He began his schooling at the Byron House School in Highgate, London. At the age of 8 in 1950, the family moved to St. Albans, where he attended St. Albans High School for Girls for a few months. He later joined St. Albans School. Although everybody now knows him as a genius, did you know that he wasn't even able to read until the age of 8? Hawking was a mediocre student at the St. Albans School, but still his friends used to call him Einstein. Hawking remained close to a group of friends with whom he enjoyed playing board games, preparing fireworks, models of aeroplanes and boats. In fact, in 1958, with the help of their mathematics teacher, Dikran Tahata, they built a computer using recycled parts. Now his parents, themselves having studied at Oxford University, placed a very high value for education and hence wanted their son also to attend Oxford University. His father wanted him to do medicine, but Hawking was more interested in mathematics. Since there was no such course available in Oxford at that time, he decided to choose physics. Hawking began his university education at University College, Oxford in 1959 at the age of 17. However, his undergraduate years didn't turn out to be so great. He estimated that he studied only 1,000 hours during his 3 years' time. That means not more than an hour each day. These unimpressive study habits made his final exams a challenge. During his viva, when he was asked to describe his plans, he said, "If you award me a first, I will go to Cambridge. If you give me a second, I will stay here at Oxford. So I expect you to give me a first." After receiving his first class BA degree in physics, he began his graduate work in 1962 at Cambridge. But by this time, Hawking had started to develop the symptoms of a disease which was going to change his entire life. Hawking's first year as a doctoral student was difficult. He was initially disappointed that he was assigned Dennis Sciama as a supervisor rather than Fred Hoyle. In 1963, Hawking was diagnosed with ALS, the motor neuron disease. He fell into depression. Though his doctor suggested him to continue with his studies, he felt there was a little point. The disease made it difficult for him to walk, and his voice became unclear. The doctors told him that he had only 2 years to live, but the prediction proved to be wrong. Rather, this disease gave him the spirit to do something. Knowing the fact that he might die very soon, he knew that he had to do something. Every day became a bonus for him, and he started striving harder. During this time, Hawking also met a girl named Jane in a party, and the couple became engaged in October 1964, knowing the challenges that lay ahead due to Hawking's disease. Later, Hawking said that the engagement gave him something to live for. The two married on 14 July 1965. Meanwhile, he also started to develop some reputation among the people for his brilliance. Inspired by Roger Penrose and his theorem on space-time singularity in the center of black holes, Hawking applied the same to the entire universe. Hawking received his PhD degree in applied mathematics and theoretical physics and specializing in general relativity and cosmology. Same year, he also received the prestigious Adams Prize for his essay on geometry of space-time and singularities. During his initial years of work, Hawking mainly worked on black holes and singularities, trying to prove that the universe might have started with a singularity. He worked in collaboration with Roger Penrose and made groundbreaking discoveries. In the year 1970, Hawking postulated what we today call the second law of black hole dynamics, stating that the event horizon of a black hole can never get smaller. He gave 4 laws of black hole mechanics, and meanwhile he also kept getting various awards. In the year 1973, Hawking's first book, The Large-Scale Structures of the Universe, was published. The same year, Hawking shifted towards the study of quantum mechanics and quantum gravity. In 1974, Hawking presented one of his most celebrated theories showing that black holes emit radiation, which we today call as Hawking radiation. The same year, he was elected as the Fellow of Royal Society, becoming one of the youngest scientists to receive such an honor. Around 1975, Hawking had completely lost his ability to use his hands for writing equations. But he didn't give up. He developed this amazing ability to manipulate and visualize concepts in his head. In the following year, his popularity increased. He received many prizes and awards, including Eddington Medal, Albert Einstein Medal, and Maxwell Medal. He also got elected as the Lucasian Professor of Mathematics at the University of Cambridge. In 1985, Hawking completely lost his speech, and then he had to rely on a speech synthesizer to communicate, which became his voice for the rest of his life. Well, Stephen was a distinguished name among scientists already, but he gained popularity among the people only after writing his book, A Brief History of Time, which became a bestseller, breaking all the records and having 25 million copies sold. His other popular books include The Grand Design, Universe in a Nutshell, Theory of Everything, and On the Shoulders of Giants. Hawking had 3 children, Robert, Lucy, and Timothy. He, along with his daughter Lucy, wrote a series of science fictional books specially made for middle school children, which included George and the Big Bang. Hawking also made several television appearances, including the TV show The Big Bang Theory and Star Trek. Hawking revealed in a BBC interview in 2006 that his one of the greatest unfulfilled desire was to travel to space. On hearing this, Richard Branson offered him a free flight to space with Virgin Galactic, which Hawking accepted immediately. Hawking was an atheist, and he admitted this in several interviews. He once said that we are each free to believe what we want to, and it is in my view that the simplest explanation is that there is no God. No one created our universe and no one directs our fate, and this leads me to a profound realization. There is probably no afterlife and no heaven. We have this one life to appreciate the grand design of the universe, and for that, I am extremely grateful. In the year 2014, Jane's book, Traveling to Infinity, My Life with Stephen, was made into a film named The Theory of Everything, which was a biopic of Stephen Hawking. Stephen died on 14 March 2018 on the 139th birth anniversary of Albert Einstein. His memorial stone was placed between the graves of Isaac Newton and Charles Darwin. as he requested his stone was engraved with his equation of temperature of a black hole. Well, some people think that Hawking became famous because of his disability, but it was not his disability, but his attitude towards his disability that made him popular. After coming to know about his disease, if he would have lost all hope and let his depression overpower his abilities, we might not know him as we know him today. So remember what he said. However difficult life may seem, there is always something you could do and succeed at. Until we meet again, keep stargazing.